So really the next part of this assignment is just more of the same. Again, you're coming up with your solution. You're not creating this Super Nintendo emulator. You're not playing Mario. You're not playing these other items, but you need to follow through with your plan, whatever you came up with. So Mario Kart, Zelda, I need to basically tweak these. Um, so I can say play Mario Kart. I'm going to modify this. Play Mario Kart. And then down here, um, I'm not going to worry about. Oh yeah, so this one's different. So I'm going to just get those out of the way and say play Zelda. I'll probably keep the name thing pass along as well. Now notice I have compiler errors. I've made these two changes, and it's complaining because player Mario Kart play Mario Kart is undefined. Identifier play Mario Kart. They have to understand what the identifier is. What am I doing? Well, I'm actually trying to call a method. I'm trying to call a function, and it doesn't exist on this in this context yet. So I need to go and create it. And again, I got to remember to come back and change these up here. So play. Oops, I can't type. Mario Kart. And then I can say play Zelda. All right. So did I fix my compiler errors? If I look over here on the right, it's a little bit tough to see, but there's a little tiny red dot here, which no, I didn't. Because again, I didn't be very careful when I named things. Here I called it Mario and Kart, capital C. This is called camel case, where I start with a lowercase letter and every word then starts with an uppercase letter. That's not what I did up above. Now the question is Mario Kart all one word? Is Mario Kart two different words? It doesn't really matter. It does matter from the coding standpoint. This must match. So I have to make a choice. Do I want it to be named this, or do I want it to be named this? In this case, I'm going to say I want it to be named capital C Mario Kart. Um, Now we can get into the idea of advanced behaviors. So maybe Mario Kart wants to have multiple players. So maybe there's not just one player that gets passed in. In this case, you could add in a parameter uh, int number of players. Now, if I did that, if I decide I want Mario Kart to be multiple players, then down here, my code will not compile again because there's too few arguments. Well, right now, I don't have a number of players, but that's okay. I can hard code this to be one player. I can just say this first version of my application shall be one player. Later on, I can go ask the user, hey, I want to get one player. I want to show you this technique because for those of you who are ambitious and you know what you want to do, but you don't know how to do it yet, you can start hinting at where you want to go. You can build the infrastructure to include the things you want to be able to do, and then you learn how to do those things later on. But in the meantime, I'm just passing in a hard-coded value 1. There'll always be one player in this version of the game. So I can go off and run my code, see what's happening here. Yes, I'm going to rebuild that. And so let's see, I got Tony. I can say play Mario Kart. And it still did the old behavior. I haven't changed that behavior yet, but it's still working, and that's the important thing is it's still working. So the next tweak then is going to be your internal behavior. So for now, it's going to play drive fast. All right, and then play Zelda. Oh, notice in Zelda, I'm returning 12 inside of here. So I could now, I'm going to go through and tweak this and say rescue the princess, which is really all the game. Rescue the princess. And this could be, you could be returning the score that somebody has, or the number of hearts that are left that you have, or something like that. It doesn't really matter if you wanted to return something here. If you're not, just change it to void. Then you don't have to have a return statement here. I'm going to leave it for the moment. And I can just run this, make sure everything's all working one more time. and then enter your name. Play Mario Kart. Drive fast, play Zelda. Rescue the princess, play Mario. So there now you can see each of our functions is moving. Um, the next phase is up to you. This is the core of what I'd like to have happen. You've come up with your customized application. I'm hoping you have at least enough ambition to start playing with these things. Have you tried an if statement? You know how to get a little bit of input. Can you take that input and do something else with it? Can you ask for something else? Ask for pizza toppings and store those. Ask for different versions of the burger, or get some customized data that you'd be receiving in. At this point, it's just about playing with stuff. And if you're not sure, send me your code. Come to a chat. We'll walk through it. We'll talk through it. That's really what's most important right now is starting with these fundamentals, making sure you have this foundation to build on, and then working up from there to just play, just to try stuff out and develop an understanding of if I do it this way, what does it do? If I do it that way, what does it do? If I get an error, how do I fix that error? What does that error mean? And then maybe what it why it was caused to begin with. So that's the challenge I'm going to put out to you for now. And we'll talk more in chat, and we'll talk more in email, and we can hopefully keep developing you to be more robust with functions and other aspects of C++.